A warm welcome also from my side. We will have a tough program this afternoon, and nothing comes without an agenda. So we have a small agenda, but with a really large portion of latest news and demonstration. Up front, I will tell something about the user interface of the business integration suite, our goals. Hopefully we have achieved that. And on the end, I will tell you something about communication channels to SEEBURGER, where you can leave your feedback, where you can get trainings, communication information, all these things. I think that's also some way new for you. Let's start. With the business integration suite, we developed a new BIS WebUI framework. But what are the goals for this? We have this WebUI since I think 4.5 years started that, and part by part we set that on the BIS suite. So what are the main 6 goals we had? So first one was to improve the usability and accessibility. This is very, very important these days. Also a consistent user experience, so that all of these apps you will see later will work in general the same. So searching, changing, look and feel, all these things that you feel comfortable in all apps. And that way it should be in the end a little bit faster for configuration and implementation of these process flows. And one of the main goals was also to make the monitoring more efficient than before, and come later to an error reduction, that you work quite safer with your business processes. And in that context, it was also a little bit complicated to understand our process details and the monitoring and the configuration. So we need an improved visualization and understanding of complex integration processes there. And also this, I think, that was a good outcome of the new applications. And then at the end, security. The Java clients with these executable code to be installed on the local systems are actually something that internal IT security departments would like to reduce, not to expand. And this was one we said, okay, we need web-based user interface without any download things executed on remote machines. All in all, the end goal should be to increase efficiency and productivity. And I think we did a good way or good job in doing exactly this. Yes. So what's the topic today? This is the topic today. Not really, but yes, there it is. The good old Java frontend. A good friend for almost 20 years. Really, it's 80 years and whatever months. I checked that. So 20 years in the IT sector is like how many generations? I'm not sure, but I think many. We remember what you have done in IT 20 years ago. So, but it survived. But that's not the point today. So today is about convincing the last remaining doubting users to let go of their beloved Java frontend. So, and since some of us don't like to actively do separations, we will do it for you today. So what does that mean? So the front end is not longer available since Service Pack 162. So we have really removed it, and yes, it's not there anymore, and but it's not a problem. because we have some really great successes, and I want to show you a little bit of the apps which are the successors of the Java front and the new functionalities. So what we have instead? What we have instead is the BIS web user interface with many apps, and these apps you see here on the page are the successor apps from the Java front end. So we divided that into many apps. Why we divided that? Because we said a role-based concept supports the different roles in your operating model a little bit better than one a large Java front end where you have problems to set the correct roles and rules and user accesses. This is better to do with these web-based applications. So since almost everyone in this webcast is using 6.7, I checked that up front. So the quota is around 96–97% of you already are using 6.7. You have already come into contact with one or more of the apps. So something will be old, something will be new, hopefully, for you in today's demonstration. So, however, we developed more apps. You see that here, many more icons, which are not developed anymore together with the Java frontend or Java frontend, like so the complete API management tool set is extra, the CMA, the new message tracking, task list manager, all this stuff is there. And in addition to this, we have some more apps that's covering all the portal and user administration things, like the user management service, where you can configure your users, your rights, your roles, your company, your organization units, and in these things, or the portal admin console for configuration of the portal framework look and feel, for login modules, multi-factor authentication, password settings, all this stuff. So and more around, and you have directly access to the documentation about that. Through that, that's also a good fit, we would say. But now we are starting with the pleasure of something new and innovative. So, but first, of course, I said we have this WebUI for almost 4 years available in the one another way, and we ask ourselves why it was so hard to say goodbye. And the first thing that always came up was the following: so the new applications are not finished yet. I can't do everything I did in the old front end with the new apps. Especially the monitoring works different. And the second sentence was that the new applications are too complicated. And that's not good. Yeah? But actually, we mean they are different, and they need time to learn how to use them. So, and this is true. If you come from the old Java front end, the one or other app will be easy to use, but especially the process monitoring is a special one. Without knowing that the concept and how the concept changed, you can have doubts that it's correct what you get displayed. So, but changing this attitude is the aim of today's webcast. I hope I can contribute to that. So let's start. So deleting the old view of the old front end, having the view to the new ones. Try something new now. I will switch to the front end now, to the portals console now. I will log in, and I will get the view of my demo environment. So we have some portal administration apps here with the documentation and so on. And then we have 2 logical systems. My logical system today will be this one. So you have typically only one. and I go to that my logical system 500. So you see all these apps which are available in my demo environment. So we will not touch everyone. Every app of these I think 15 or whatever apps we have here. We will start with the first two, because the first two, see what we can do with this third one, will be or touching your daily operating in one another way. So starting with Navigator. Navigator, I think you know that most the Navigator is for browsing through the master data. It's called master data Navigator. So we navigate through our master data, and we clean up a little bit the folder structure. So it's in comparison to the old Java front end. It's the first folder there called configuration. This is behind everything here. So you see there are server settings, system settings, HTTP listener, process engine, see the initiator rules. This is hidden behind that. Then we have the integration settings for the integration topics, so some authorization, some system. The system variables are here, and we have the queues, the scheduler, some resources. That's a new one. It's not available in that old front end. So we have all resources calling here the objects. Below there's resources here. You have big mappings, BIS mappings, some channels, compliance check overlays, process templates, procedures, global procedures, all there. And of course, the key store management. This is file exchange, it's an additional component. Then we have all components there, so all adaptive functionalities which are not belong to a communication protocol or the converters. So we have the classifier, we have an extractor, OpenPGP, all this stuff is here behind or below, and then we come to the main part, what you are normally touching. That's the communication configuration and the entities. And if I open this one, you will see a lot of communication protocols. So because that's a central demo environment, so we are proud to demonstrate all of them. But if you come to look into a simple one, so with FTP client, you see there are the addresses. See the addresses here, and then we have the connections here, so you can browse through this communication protocol adapters. And what we have seen could be that you have seen that while I browse through this folders here, at the top it changed also here the folders. So I know where I'm now. I'm in communication FTP clients connection. So if I go to addresses, it's changed to the addresses, and you can use the folder structure here, or in the top in the bar top, like the Windows Explorer. You can move through this also. If you want to go up, then please use that up icons and go up to the communication again. You can use always the back and forward browser icons, the functionality here to come to the previous view again. Okay, if we want to have a look in the entities, I have to tell upfront that I have 3 things installed there. I have the B2B solution installed there with some profiles, automotive, B2B, and others. And I have installed the integration solution, so the successor of the API and MFT solution, and some connectors. If I open that, then you see from here, from automotive to B2B retail. This is the B2B solution part covered there. And then I have the connectors here, like Azure Storage or Google Drive or SharePoint, these things, where we have connectors. And on the bottom, we have the integration with the integration flows generic integration solution installed. I come to that later in the demonstration. What you can do is, and this is if you are new in this, you can always use the search. The search you will find on the upper right, and you can type in whatever you want in that essay. So if I want to look into things related, for example, to Edeka, oops, not orders, give me a second. I can search there, and the result is empty. Why is the result empty? That's quite easy. You see, I made a failure, an error. So where I'm searching is below all communication. So there's no communication below the Edeka. So I have to go up to the first part, so the all, and then I can browse through this search for the Edeka, and then I get the complete result there. And then I can see I see the mappings, I see the B2B solution, the partner, and this is what I want. I want to have the customer here, and if I click on that filter on this right side, the filter was generated by the result of the search. So now I have the customer in the Edeka and the B2B solution. If I go here on the right click, I see the context, really what I can search, what I can do with this. I can change the active state, delete, and I can show dependencies, for example. So I will come to that in a minute. So what I want to do is I go to navigate to, and then what happened? I navigate to this directory, entities, CBG customer Germany, and the highlighted and marked is the Edeka, and then I do right click again and go to show children, and then I see all processes binded to that trading partner. And what I'm interested in is the orders, the inbound message. So that's good. So I will do a double click and open that entity for you. And you see what you see is this almost the same we had in the old front end, except on the web-based thing. So we have all the configurations available again. We have enhanced this previous and next. It was a request, a feature request by our customers. They said, "Oh, this functionality of the old front end we need really. So can you please develop that for us, include that?" So we did. And on the left side, you can, for those who have already access or used the navigator, if you want to add things like pre-processing or post-processing activities, this was really a pity to find the correct activity, because we have many of these. So we extracted this box here, and you can search for all of these activities, or you can see and browse through these activities. Now you can read them, so you know what behind this is. And in the first one, you have only the first 10 characters as a view, as a name, and now you can see everything. And if I want to add something, like I want to add a mail, then I have 3 possibilities. In the pre-processing, that makes no sense for me. Then I have a mail notification, that could make sense. Or in the post-processing, there's also mail send. Let me use this, and I can use this icon, and it will add and post-processing mail send my configuration. And then it's pre-filled with the first entry. It will find, the navigator will find, and that's of course not correct. So I can change that. This is my account I want to use, and this is the partner email address. So well, that's not correct. I'm not sure what's behind there. And you see there are 2 symbols, two icons at the end of this parameter. there's a plus and a pencil. A pencil means, you see that it's edit. You can go to that and edit the configuration, the mail configuration, or plus you can add a new one. In the old one, you had to go to the mail configuration, add this, and then jump back. Here you can really do it during the configuration. So if I have this here and say MTE4, command 4, and I put my email address in, then I have set up a communication partner. In this case, I can do that with the others, also with the ACE2, with SFTP, whatever you have. And then two things happen in the background. I configured, I set up the MTE4 partner email address, and it fills of course in this correct partner. And if I want to see something, then I can use the pencil and immediately jump back into the configuration of the communication address. So that will work on any of these which have these symbols in the back and at the end here. So that's really nice. But now I cancel that and I'm there. So, and then what I want to show is, this is also a really cool feature. If you do a right click and say, what are the dependencies of this entry here, this entity here, then you can do a right click and go to show dependencies. And there's two possibilities. Show dependencies is used by or depends on. If I go to depends on, you can hopefully imagine what will happen. If I go to depends on, then there will something be there. It depends on a mapping. Of course, it depends on a mapping, the entity. Then it depends on a business process, on a host. No, I have to forward it to an SAP in this case. Then we have the compliance set, because we do a compliance set, compliance check into that. And there's an inbound process also in the host on the host side. So I can see, okay, if I change something, it will could be have effect on these further configurations. So what else here? We can search. It's also an important thing. We had this at the beginning, and the search can be more complexer than only this Edeka one. So if you want to look or to know what type of searches are possible or available, it's a good idea to use the question mark here in the top. The question mark means access to the online help. To the app help. You see these apps are marked here, here, and I go to the navigator, and then I can go browse through this documentation or type a keyword on the top. I know where to find it, the search criteria, so search documentation. I go to the navigator, I come to that searching, and then I open it, make it large, and then you see the searching is explained, where to find, where to do. What are the possibilities? What are the results if you do something like this? So if you search for partner with brackets or not, or use or and not, and all these things are explained there. And if I want to use something, use case, for example, I want to know what a well-known colleague of mine has changed, then I have the search criteria, search function last modified by Spurlich, and then I get 27 records. And because he's really doing good stuff, and I want to know that, I can of course add this at a favorite. So I can say, okay, this search should be a favorite here. Add that, I can make it Christians changes, And like I said, put it in a specific folder there. I can structure these favorites. And now you can come to this one. Now you can go to this favorite list and see there are many of these favorites I had already. And in the MTE, I find something Christian changes. And if I open this, then it searches for all these Christian changes, and I have again these 27 records. I can already just add the filter, activate the filter again, and I want to see, oh, he had changed some HTTP listeners. Okay, which as HTTP listener he has changed, when he has changed it. So I can see this already. So for those of you who are using the integration solution or the MFT API solution, the formerly known as API and MFT solution, there's a different view of configuring entities. So I go to close that again, can browse through the integration. I will not do that. I will just search for chat, and he will give me something related to chat. You see there are some REST resources. I have one process, and exactly this is what I want to see. I open that process, and then I get a different view of the configuration. That means because the integration is a flexible generic integration solution, you can design your flow as you want. And on the left side, you have your activity list with all activities which are available. In the middle, you have the visualization of the process. And on the right side, you have the configuration of the activity. So if I go to the message tracking, then I get the configuration of the message tracking. Here's the REST resource. That's an calling it chat and OpenAI API. And then I got the REST simple as reply, and the result will be moved to a file transfer server, for example. That's my flow, and you know what will happen. I will show the same. I want to add a mail, and then you get the activity related to mail. You said, oh, mail sending is exactly what I want. You add this here, and then on the right side you can configure that, and then you know what's happening. So I go to the B2B system, and now I have my MTE for what I have created, so I can save it now and have the process configured. So that's a different view for those which are using the integration solution instead of or in combination with the B2B solution. What we do next, and this is something what is also different to the old front end, the transportation process, so-called move to production in the old front end. So what we have changed, I will show you in the next step. So how we call change, we call it not change request, we call it collections. So we collect our data we want to transport. I will do a simple demonstration. So we want to transport this chat process here, and say what we have to do. There's a right click and to say add to collection, and I will create a new collection for you, and it's a chat 2025, for example. It's category integration. I do save, and I have generated the collection. Then I added this flow into that collection. It was added here, you see, and then I can go to collections, see what happened, and I got a new one. It's called integration, created by me. I open that. And here you see the entity, what I have added into the collection. And then we have a cool feature there. It's called add missing references. So now he's checking if there are references which are related to that process configuration, which could be needed to be that the process will be executed correctly or configured correctly on the next staging system. So what he's doing there, he said, okay, there are four additional references there, configurations there. So there's the process group. I said, yes, I need that. The integration domain I do not need because it's the node of the integration solution. So it's already there. Then I have the process management, the demo processes there I want to add. And he said, okay, in that process you are using the REST resource, chat completions of this ChatGPT. Oh, I think, okay, thank you for this. I will add that. And then I said, okay, that could be a good idea to add these to the collection. I go to OK, and he said, whoa, according to your selection, new reference were found. So he will never give up. So please check if you want to add these data as well. And of course, I will check. If you ask me so nice, then I will do that. And you see there's an additional one popping up. It's the certificate, and the certificate is used by this REST resource. So I need that to fulfill these REST calls. So I said that's a good idea. I will add that too. And now we have five records there, and I'm done with my collection. Next step will be generate a transport out of it. So I go to that chat 2025, set create a transport out of this. And it will pop up in the transports. You see that here, chat 2025, and now you can do the same. What you have done in the move to production. You can edit these things. You can edit maintain some things. If you say, okay, I want to use not Reese, I want to use MTE user. Save that, and then it was adapted. And in the end, you go out there and mark that again and say true possibility to send it to the next level. The easiest way is to press the send button, and then you can move it to via HTTPS to a connected target system, or you can do this and download these transport as a transport file, so that you can upload it manually on the destination system, on the test system manually, or you can generate a deployment zip. We have a deployment manager available which we are using for deployment of any artifacts there, so mappings, solutions, and also these transports. This can be also downloaded. Some of our customers are using this to save this in a Git repository, to save the changes outside the BIS. That's also possible. That's the way, the things I wanted to demonstrate with the Navigator. Good. Then let's leave Navigator alone and then come to the process monitor. And that's I told that before. That's a really good one, but it works a little bit different to the front end monitoring of this Java front end. And so the process monitoring works really differently in important points. This is very important to know in order to use process monitoring correctly and achieve the desired results. That's really important that you know what are the differences. Because if not, then you can have complaints and say, well, it's not that what I expected, and it showed me not that what I wanted. I would like to explain you now the most important differences and show you how do they work in the application. So first of all, the first important change, there are no more entries of events, process flows, and their details in the database. So for the insiders of you, this TBB instances table is no longer populated. It's very important if you're using the process monitoring. In the end, it is not longer populated. So, but Each event, each activity, polling, all these things in the BIS generates a JSON file, which contains the log information of this step, of this dedicated step. So the JSON file is stored in our internal store, and this creates different monitoring information for each event and activity. That's important. So it could be that you have a process, and the process generates in total 20 of these JSON files. A process here shown, you see these processes here in the result page, is a combination of all of these JSON files, and these are held together by the so-called context ID. The context ID is generated by the event. We will see that in a minute. So that's just an advantage, that the initial event, together with all following activities, can be monitored together with the process. That's also an additional feature to that old front. These JSON files are made searchable via the Lucene index. That's also important there. We have to search these. You have to find things. Remember that finding instead of searching is the motto. This is the thing with the JSON files and with the logging. And then the second important information, and that is these are concerned most people of using that this process monitoring. There's a maximum number of 10,000 processes which can be selected at any time, and only 1,000 can be displayed at once in a typical standard search. That's depends on performance and all this stuff. I said it could be that we have 20 JSON files for a process, for example. We have to bring them all together, and that could be time consuming in case of you have hundreds of thousands of processes there in your process monitoring. But therefore, the type of search will affect the result of your search. That's also important. I will explain it later on the system. So which pros are displayed and all this stuff are mainly controlled by the time range here, by this time range selector. So what we see here is the result set. What we have, these 378 records, are the records for a view for the search of the last 6 hours. So I told 4 minutes already. You see, it's 4:35 the last 6 hours. If I go click once here, it will be actualized. So it's my actual time. And what type of process are shown here? It's the processes which called started processes. That's my standard view, and you can change the standard view in the startup view or default view in the settings there, but that's the standard view. So that means all started processes which are inside this 6 hour time range will be displayed here. All of them. You can change that time range. You can use your own individual one, or that's really common to use the quick ranges. So something like last 15 minutes or 7 days, or maximum time range. What maximum time range means? Maximum time range means this is the time range of the retention time. So that's the reorganization. In my case, the reorganization is 20 days. So I hold 20 days of processes in my process monitoring, and then if I click on maximum time range, it will switch to this last 20 days. So it showed me this. So my favorite thing is always the 6 hours, and it showed me this. What I can do is I can share, for example, these results. So I can go to share, and I can say, okay, this is my URL, and if you want to hand over this result, this search, to a colleague, or want to save it as a bookmark, then you can do that. And there are two possibilities. You say you can log the time range. That means the time range will never change. It will always be between 10:41 and 4:41. And if you unlock that, then it will be always the last 6 hours. That's important. Try it out. It is a nice feature, and then you can move it to your colleague, and then you will always, if you call this URL, you will always get the same result as here. What we have else, you see there's also a filter, an auto filter on that left side. You see we have a mixed list of processes, all started processes last 6 hours. And we have the initiator fields, we have mappings, we have process durations, final process date, and so on. So these filters are generated by the result in case of the results of the search. So if I want to narrow down that a little bit, let me check what I'm interested in. I say, okay, I need the SFTP clients. I go to apply, then I will get all processes with the initiator SFTP clients, and you see I have to press the apply that he change or execute the search. Next thing is I want to do this one, FTP client, narrow down to 152, and then I want to say, okay, I'm interested only in finished ones, coming to 101. And then I have a use case, a special one. I say, well, there's one mapping. I know that there was a failure, but I changed the mapping, but I have to reprocess these processes. And now it's a difficult thing to find out which mapping was used, or in which process this dedicated mapping was used. So that's easy in this filter. You go to select plus, and then you see all of the mappings which are executed in these 101 processes. And then I see, okay, this is my mapping. I had an error in the partner mapping. I selected that. I'll go to apply again, and then I got 49 resources of these processes where this mapping was part of. So now I can of course select these and restart this from the first point, because I have to do the take conversion again. So restart in this way, and then it get restarted. But let's do a deeper look into the process here. How is the look and feel? So this is this is really standard. You see on the top you have the columns, so which can be moved left and right, and all this stuff is always in all applications the same. You can select new fields, look and feel here. That's also the same. That's a little common. But if you are opening now this the one process, you see a complete check that. You see a complete different view. What you see here is the complete combination of all of these JSON files I talked previously. So you see in this way, you see the complete flow from the beginning of the event. In this case, it was an event. It was a polling event of an FTP client. So you see the address of the FTP client. You have access to that attachment, to the original attachment here. So the incoming file. Oops. Then you have the rule which was chosen. That's the first time you see the rule of the event, and the process with the people process which was triggered, and then the entity which was found. And you see, if I click on this on the right side, some detailed process details popped up. So you can see in the entity you have attachments there. You see there's an attachment entity lookup B2B. That means that displays or explains how the TPM, the trading partner management lookup, is handled. So if there's a problem, you can immediately check that there. You have the entity there. You see there's the entity orders D69A. And if there's a problem, you know, or you don't know what's going on there and why it's there, then just click on that, and it jumps into the navigator view and you see again the orders entity. In this way, you can change it if you have the rights for that. There's only a right, also a right only for viewing, but I have all rights, of course, and I can change that and press save. But this is not for everyone. And then you go further with all these steps there, and you see there are more steps. You see 2 additional things, which is good for monitoring purposes. You see the property bag and the attachment bag. What does that mean? The property bag collects process properties, so process variables from the process, and then you can search of this in this. You can go to this, show, and then you will want, I want to know what to use in a previous step, in the following step, the original file name of my incoming file to build file name as a subject or whatever. So I can just type in a file name, for example. I have to do start for, and then you get the result, and you see, oh, this is the original, the file name I need, and this is my process variable. So very cool, very quick to find. Remember what you have to do in the old front end to find exactly this. And then we have the attachment bags that covers all the attachment, the bookmark attachment during the process. That means all payloads. You see that payloads, host, intermediate, partner, protocols, PDFs. All this stuff is hosted, is saved there. You can download that, view that immediately, or no problems. Or you can press here, the shows step with attachments, and then it will, the view will be reduced only to these steps where we have attachments. And attachment means not only payload attachment, also the others. You see, we had this in the entity, we had this entity lookup, and we have this lookup, this log here, or a conversion. You have also the log file of the conversion in this way. And if you want to see how long it took the whole process and several steps, you have a different view. You can go switch to show table view, and then you see all the steps of that process here, and then you can sort by duration, and you see which steps took a lot of the most time. That was the way you can work with these direct view, these activities, these visualization of the process. And that's very good. And if you know the old front end, if you double click there, then you've got a mess of information which are not searchable. You can't search behind it these information in the old front end. So what else? We're just stuck in the started processes. Let's have a view. Let's have a view on the left side, to the left side, and then we have 2 separate magnifiers here. We have the search events, where we can have predefined search events like B2B. So I will show only B2B processes. And if you have a mixed installation, also with the integration solution, you can switch to the integration process type, and then only integration flows will be shown here. Then you have the pollings, only pollings will be shown. So you see that all these things are displayed in that monitoring. You can deactivate also the pollings, dedicated pollings from the monitoring if you want. And all you see, there are a lot of more views. And I said, okay, remember, you can only display 1,000 processes or records here. So the last 6 hours is not really cool, because only I have not so many of these pollings. Just give me the B2B processes. I have 159 in the last 6 hours. That's not also good. Let's switch the time range to last 2 days, and then it will add, then it will end up with thousands. So that means I have displayed 1,000 processes there. I can, if I want to have more details, I have to filter. Use the filter here on the top. I can show the filter and can filter that to come down to less than 1,000. I can browse through these things. If I want to have more, then I can lower the number of the time range. But that's not all very cool. I want to know how many of these processes were B2B related of the last 2 days, and I can't see this in this search. That's a pity, but as you know, we have a solution for this. There's a magnifier here. You see that. That's to come to this one, and then you come to a search box. Here's the explanation. We have the same almost equivalent thing in the old front end, and here you can create an individual search. So we have the process. You said, okay, these processes are the B2B processes, and I can add now fields. I can say, okay, I want to add not Edeka partner, for example, and then I can add Edeka and what I have then. For example, I can add these things, so I can generate that. You see, I can add all, and then we have all criteria which we have displayed in the table view are available here. We have to check the time range. Time range always important, and that's exactly what we want. Last 2 days, more B2B processes from these partners, and this shows how you can use that. And many of our customers are asking, oh, how I can search for 2,500 track IDs. I have to reprocess, or I have to look. That's easy in this way. Just type them in with a blank in between, and then you can create the same search, and then it will display the 100 track ID track IDs here in the report. But this is something what we are not willing want to do now. So these are these 2 search criteria, and I have to scroll down because I did that problem. So I can go press to search, and then it will modify the search we have seen before, but with the result that not more than 1,000 processes will be shown. How can we deal with this? I think if I filter that to these 2 partners, I will always not get the 1,001 more than 1,000, so I leave that out. And there's a separate box here. It's called search and background. And if I press this one, then the process monitor will execute the search and the background, and then you can give him a name. So B2B processes last 2 days. So I will apply now, and now in the background the processes will be collected, and then we have, give me a second, then we have here a search result. See that search result on the left side? I click on that, and you see there's the result. The B2B process last 2 days executed. Oh, I have to hurry up. Executed at that time, and the results are 1,472. And if I open that, then I'm not limited to that 1,000 process records. I get the full blown. So why? I explained that performance reasons. I will put that in the background, but it's no really time critical or time consuming. You see that immediately. This is the way you can get this, the more than 1,000 records at the. And the last thing I want to show, and that's also a really good feature, a nice feature, is to use this search results for error handling. typical use case is, let me check, last 6 hours. That's a good idea. What I have here, the process, there's a process view, and I said I want to have all failed processes of the last 6 hours. So I get 36 records, and typically you have to proceed with all of these records, and then press open that, move that, then it will change again because there are new failed, new errored records coming in. But would it not be cool if we could have a set or save this 36 records and maintaining that one after another. Yes, it's possible. Just mark them all, add it to a search result, create a search result, name it open errors on 2023. Then I go to apply, and I'll go another again to apply. And then what we find is in the search results, we find the open errors here to 36. Go to this one, and then you can go through these errors, and they will always stay. And then you can say, okay, I want to terminate and restart. Restart by Thomas and MTE. It's perfect. And this one I want to acknowledge because I need that. I can't process that again. So I go to terminate. So also terminate by because of ticket. Exactly. And then you see, if I come to that one, what I'm missing here, and that's really a feature. I've been missing a reload button. So I have just open a feature request for that. So you see there are still the 36 records, and one is reprocessed, one is terminated, and so you can go through this search result. And the good thing is, the other colleagues can do that also. So here we have, these are visible for all colleagues, for all users which have the right to do this search results. So also this one, this Reese MTE was done, was generated not by me. I can use it. So you can work together with your colleague on these error lists. And this is something which is very nice in this way. Yes, and that was the short view, 20 minutes of each app to show what's possible with the process monitor and with the navigator. And the last thing I want to do is I want to switch back to the presentation. Give me that one. Hopefully you have a lot of questions. I will answer that as promised. And what we do is, I want to tell you how to get in contact and how to get more information. I'm not sure if you are aware of that. We have additional content to that. We have a help page. It's called help.cloud.seeburger.com. There's a section called WebUI, Getting Started, and there's really good explanation of these apps, how it works, troubleshooting. So some documentation about using that apps, not only explaining features. And of course, if you have feedback, if you have requests, users, open a ticket, and we will forward that to our technical product management and judge these feature requests. That's possible. And please use our community. We have reopened the community last year, and it goes in a good way. You can interact with colleagues of us, with customers. We put information in there. You can ask questions. Please do not use that for really critical support things. There's no SLA behind. That's important. The SLA, which is guaranteed, is only available via our support agents. But use that community. You can also discuss features with customers there. That's really nice. And then we have really a lot to do. We can say if you need more training, then